What's up mga katropa? Magandang araw sa ating lahat. Ayan, panibagong araw at panibagong video na naman ang ating gagawin ngayon. So mga katropa, gusto ko lang magbigay ng opinion o comment doon sa trending na pahayag ng ating buting Senador Pro Tempore Loren Legarda hinggil doon sa kanyang pagsuporta sa CPP-NDF. Magbibigay lang ako ng aking pahayag bilang isang dating membro rin ng Philippine Army, nakakaramdam din kami ng lungkot sa aming kalooban. Tayo magbigay ng ating comment, panoorin natin yung video, yung statement niya hinggil doon sa mga Communist Party. Pero bago ang lahat mga katropa, huwag niyong kalimutan i-follow yung page na ito at paki-subscribe din po yung ating YouTube channel, yung GRBot Official, para ma-update kayo sa mga videos na ating gagawin. So let's go!
The right of our distinguished colleague from Cavite for stating that he does not wish to be interpolated. This representation, Mr. President, would have wanted to not just interpolate but to be more enlightened on this issue, but it will take so much time. I simply want to state, Mr. President, that believing in an ideology which may be different from the majority, in layman's terms, believing in policies and philosophies which may be left of center, so to speak, does not make anyone subversive. In fact, in 1992, it was former President Fidel V. Ramos who repealed the anti-subversion law. Having said that, Mr. President, I have pushed for the resumption of peace talks. We know that the comprehensive agreement on socio-economic reforms is on the agenda, and this was a legacy of former President Ramos, and I hope that the peace talks can be revived, can ensue, so that the common goal of leaders of our country, whether we are elected in the Senate or even working with a grassroots organization deemed subversive or left by government but not really proven, can work together towards more equity, peace, and authentic, real reforms in the countryside. I will never judge Chair Popoy de Vera, just as I will never judge his sister. I do not know the issue, and I do not know her personally. All I can say is that having celebrated National Heroes Day yesterday, there are many heroes in our midst whom we see and who we do not see or know. Even heroes who may be associated with the CPP. I declare that I have worked with the National Democratic Front, and I am not ashamed of it. I have worked with them, not for them, in my role as a journalist, along with then Minority Leader Aquilino Pimentel. As a young senator, I have worked for the release of captives, both in the police and the military establishment, from the mountains of Davao to the jungles and mountains of Sorsogon in Bicol and in Lianga, Surigao Sur. I have agreed with them on many subject matters close to our heart, and I'm certain that our brilliant lawyer from Cavite will agree that all the elements, the four aspects of CASER must be pushed. Having said that, Mr. President, I would like the anti-terror law to be reviewed. I recall, and I hope my vote was recorded correctly when I was in the House of Representatives at the height of the pandemic, because I did not vote in its favor. And I do not recall what law or what pronouncement of government has declared the Communist Party of the Philippines or similar organizations, movements, beliefs, associations could be declared as what? Enemies of the state? It's so difficult to identify that. If we see and study what they actually believe and want, it is social justice. It is really uplifting our people from poverty for decades without bearing arms, of course. And the disposition of forces is part of the 4 elements of CASE. I am in the military establishment. I studied GSC and NDCP. I proudly belong to the AFP Reserve Corps, being a full colonel. I fully respect and associate myself with some of the views and the concerns of the good senator. However, I also would not pass judgment and label, perhaps, certain organizations whose beliefs may be different from the general majority. But when we look at it, we bear similar objectives, vision, dreams for our people. I say that not in contrary to my good friend Senator Tolentino's manifestation today, or those who wish to associate with them. I stand here as someone who has worked with the so-called left of this country and who has admired many of those who share the same vision for a country, who may belong to those who are considered left of center. And there is nothing wrong with that, Mr. President. It does not make anyone subversive. In fact, there's no subversion law. Now, if we are called terrorists for believing in certain beliefs which are considered left, then that's a longer debate altogether. All I'm saying is that while I appreciate the manifestation of the good senator from Cavite, I also believe that heroes like Dr. Jose Rizal, who was considered subversive by the Spanish, who is killed in Laguna, is our national hero. Having said that, Mr. President, I thank the good senator from Cavite for raising this very important issue that has propelled discussions and emotions. I do not totally disagree with you, but I think this is a very important subject of discussion, and we will never completely agree with each other. That's why we value our democracy, and that is the reason why we are the Philippine Senate.
So, ayan mga katropa, napakinggan nyo na o narinig nyo niya yung statement ni Senator Loren Legarda, no? Gusto ko lang i-emphasize, no, yung mga medyo striking sa akin ng mga sinabi ni Senator Loren Legarda. Doon sa sinabi niya na nakapagtrabaho daw siya sa CPP, no? I work with him, sabi niya. So, wala daw masama na nakikipagtrabaho daw sa kanya. Okay, yun ang kanyang statement, no? So, kailangan nating respetuhin yung kanyang pahayag. Pero, on the other side, lalo na sa mga nagbuwis ng buhay na ating mga tropang army, tropang pulis, tropang kapgo, at mga sibilyan na nagbuwis din ng buhay dahil sa matagal na panahon na pakikilaban dito sa mga tinuturing kalaban ng gobyerno. Ito yung CPP-NDF. Actually, yung CPP-NDF, ito yung parang sister company, no? Meron silang combatant at the same time meron silang frontliner para sa mga legal, yung iba nga sa kongreso. So din ino-organize nila. After nilang ma-organize, nagiging full time na sila na komunista o NPA. So ayun mga kasaludo, dahil doon sa sinabi ni Senator Loren Legarda na gusto niyang i-recall o i-review yung anti-terror law, na kung saan ito'y actually maganda ito dahil para ito sa kapakanan ng ating bayan, no? Lalo na doon sa mga masasamang loob, itong mga komunista na ang kanilang pakay o intention ay pabagsakin ng ating gobyerno. So gustong i-review. So for what? Ang ibig sabihin, ang gusto lang ni Senator Loren Legarda na ibalik o magkaroon ulit ng peace talk after pagkatapos ng maraming namatay na pulis, maraming pinatay na army, maraming pinatay na kapgo, pulis na nagkandak lang ng security assistance para matransfer yung relief goods sa remote areas, inambush, patay, mga equipment na pinagsusunog itong mga rebuilding grupo. Tapos peace talk. Ngayon pa tayo magkakaroon ulit ng peace. Ngayon pa ba tayo peace talk na almost 100% ay nalagasan ng halos kalahati o 3/4 ng kanilang grupo? Nako, medyo nagkamali dito si Senador sa puntong ito, kaya maraming mga bashers ang nagki-criticize sa kanya dahil sa kanyang pahayag na siguro hindi niya inisip, no? Ngayon, may isang grupo ng IPs sa parting Mindanao na kinukondim yung kanyang ginawang pagpabor sa CPP-NDF, no? Pagkansila yung adopted IPs kay Senator Loren Legarda dahil doon sa kanyang pahayag. In addition pala mga katropa, atibuteng senador pala isang official, no, sa Philippine Army Reserve Corps, no? So nakapag-seminar siya o nakapag-schooling na MNSA, no? Master 'yun. So may isa pa siyang schooling sa Philippine Army, hindi ko na matandaan, na para bagang tunggali. Kumbaga tag nito, nagkakaroon sila ng yung sarili nila naglalabanan. Basically, siya ay member ng Philippine Army Reserve Corps, pero yung isip niya at puso, ang kanyang isip at puso, dinidipinsahan niya yung mga komunistang grupo. Di ba? Mahirap yung ganun. Dapat lagi nating tatandaan ang kapakanan ng mga politiko, palagi yung seguridad ng ating bansa. So, ayan. Kaya nga, mga katropa, maraming buhay ang nawala at maraming hanap buhay ang sinira. Maraming katutubong sinira ang kanilang kinabukasan, lalo na itong mga kabataan na sinira ng mga komunistang ito. Tapos ito, yung si Loren Legarda ay gustong buhayin ulit yung peace talk at i-recall yung anti-terror law. For what? Para magbigay pabor doon sa kanila? Para magkaroon ulit ng lakas? Medyo sablay siya doon. So, kayo mga katropa, baka meron kayong additional na gusto nyong i-comment. Mag-comment lang kayo sa ating comment section para marinig din ng iba nating kababayan yung inyong mga hinanaing. Di ba? Dahil actually hindi na rin ako magdagdag pa ng comment sa kanya, baka ako yung magkasala. Basta yun lang, doon lang ako nakapokus sa kanyang pahayag na gustong buhay ng anti-terror law. Hindi tayo sang-ayon doon. At pagbalik ng peace talk, hindi rin tayo sang-ayon doon, no? So ayun naman mga katropa, comment down below lang kung mayroon kayong karagdagan. So maraming salamat sa patuloy na pagsubaybay ng ating YouTube channel. Mag-follow lang at subscribe sa ating YouTube channel para ma-update kayo sa mga videos na ating gagawin. So yun lamang mga kasaludo, maraming salamat, bye bye.